In today's video, I'm going to be going to Stowe, Vermont to look at a local legend called Emily's Bridge. This bridge, also known as Gold Brook Covered Bridge, is an integral part of this small rural community's local legends. According to MidnightSocietyTales.com, this local legend claims that in the early to mid 1800s, a woman by the name of Emily was to elope with her lover at this bridge at midnight. There are a couple different ways that the story goes. Emily is claimed to be a poorer woman, and her husband-to-be was a little more well off. Quoted directly from the MidnightSocietyTales.com, in one version of the story, Emily arrived at the bridge, but detained by his parents, her lover never came. In a fit of despair, believing he had forsaken her, she hung herself from the rafters. In another version of the tale, also from MidnightSocietyTales.com, Emily was met at the bridge at midnight, but not by her beloved. His mother found her in the darkness, and following an argument, murdered the girl to keep Emily from seducing her son. In another version found on the same website, Emily was rejected by her lover before reaching the bridge, and mad with grief, she drove her carriage and horses down the narrow, winding, tree-lined road that led to Gold Brook Bridge and lost control. She crashed into the rocks below the bridge and died in pain and despair. Supernatural manifestations from this location include cold spots, phantom music, handprints left on car windows, smudges and orbs in photographs, sensations such as scratching on nearby cars or people crossing the bridge, while others have claimed to see the entity known as Emily, who jiggles handles on their car doors. So I pulled up to Emily's Bridge. It's right there behind me. I just took some B-roll, some drone footage, some pictures, and I had just gotten my investigation set up. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet. I wasn't hoping to clickbait this or make y'all wait. I have rechargeable D batteries for my equipment. I guess I just forgot to charge them. It's mad unfortunate, but I still have some equipment here. I have a K2 meter. What a K2 meter does is it detects electromagnetic frequencies. The theory is that spirits emit electromagnetic frequencies or are able to better control electromagnetic frequencies. And so if we ask some questions or if they want to show themselves to us, they can do so with the K2 EMF reader. The other equipment I have today, I am not great at. These are dowsing rods. I've used dowsing rods in the past. If you've paid attention real closely, to my Hauntings video that I released as part of my series of getting back into YouTube. I used these in one of the scenes on the farm, trying to locate a riser for a water main. Theory behind how these work: you hold them loosely in your hands to where they're able to swing around. Obviously, I can control them. It does not take a lot of movement to control them. The idea is to get them to a point where ideally they're both in the middle on their own, and then you ask questions, and usually they're yes or no questions. A little embarrassing of me. I thought I was recording on this camera the whole time. Now I am. Now you can see the bridge behind me, and now I'll continue my demonstration of the dowsing rods. The theory is you ask yes or no questions. Say, if yes, cross the dowsing rods. If no, keep the dowsing rods straight. And the idea is to keep your hands just so that they'll naturally stay in no, and a spirit, an entity, has to put energy into them to make them cross to yes. In those instances, that was me doing that. For any future tasks, I'm going to do my very best, to the best of my ability, to not control these dowsing rods. Before we start the investigation, I'm going to take a minute, just chill, try to get into the right mindset, really hear the sounds around me, pay attention to what's around me, and just take a second to be quiet. If the spirit of Emily is here, please make yourself known. I have tools you can use, Emily. I have dowsing rods that you can come up here and control to cross, make an X like this. When I ask you yes or no questions, I also have a K2 on the floor that you can go up to and touch, the little green light on the ground, and I'll be able to see that you're here. I invite the spirit of Emily here to this location. Is Emily or any other spirit here with me now? I heard the story of the night that you died. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I can't imagine how lonely you must have felt to drive yourself to hurt yourself, either on accident or on purpose. Emily, if you are here, I figured you didn't want to be right next to the bridge. And I know if it were me, I wouldn't want to be next to the spot where I died. One of the stories that I've heard is that the mother of the man that you loved met you here instead of him. Is that true? Feeling like I'm being watched, which could be the case. The parking lot is right above me. Emily, another story I had heard was that you were so enraged that you weren't going to be allowed to marry your lover, that you had driven your carriage off the road into the rocks under the bridge. Is that true? I realize, Emily, I haven't stated my intentions. My intentions are purely to tell your story. I want to get better at communicating with spirits like yourself, who I think are misunderstood. My intentions are not to hurt you. My intentions are not to annoy you. Is there a better spot to communicate with you, Emily? Are you having a hard time coming through to me? The right dowsing rod moved the hair to the right. Are you telling me to go to the right? It sounds like that's a yes. You're pointing me to the right? Okay. I can move closer to the bridge for you, Emily. You have more energy. I imagine you have more energy to communicate closer to the bridge. Okay. So the dowsing rod's kind of pointed more to the right. If I had to guess, and that's not just a fluke of how I was holding them, I think she doesn't have enough energy to communicate with me properly. So I'm going to grab my equipment and move a little closer to the bridge. So I moved up closer to the bridge now. I don't know if you can see it on this camera very well. Got my K2 right here. On this next investigation, I'm also, if it's charged, I'm going to break out my spirit box. Well, I'm not too sure what's going on with my equipment today. I also wasn't paying attention to the K2, so I'm going to have to look back at that footage and see if it was doing anything at all. When your equipment fails, you gotta rely on yourself as your own equipment. Emily, are you still here with me? Emily, if you are here with me now, you can use any of my equipment here on your hill to show me that you're here. You can turn on my flashlight. You can press the green light. and it'll let me know that you're here. When I ask you some yes or no questions, you can make my dowsing rods make an X for no, or go forwards for yes. Are you here with me now, Emily? Within the bounds of these grounds, I invite any spirits around to communicate with me using these pieces of equipment here in front of me. If any spirits are here, let yourself be known. You can cross my dowsing rods to form an X. You can press the green light on my K2, or you can turn on my flashlight. I don't know if that's just how I was holding the rods, or if somebody has appeared. Is there a spirit with me right now? I don't think that's me. I'm trying to angle my fingers back to open it, and it feels like there's a force closing in. Can you make these rods go back straight? Okay, let me reset real quick. Thank you for doing that. Is the spirit with me? Still with me? Just to confirm again, is the spirit with me right now? Feel free to zoom in when you're watching this. I don't think I'm moving. I'm trying my hardest to stay still, and there's only so much a camera can do to convey that. If I am the one moving it, please show me. Thank you for doing that. I have other equipment here on the ground. Yes. Yep, here on the ground. Can you go up to the green light on the piece of equipment on the ground and touch it? I said earlier, wide means no. Are you unable It's moving so much. I don't think that's me. Jesus, okay. It didn't even let me ask the question I was gonna ask. Are you unable to touch the green light? If you are unable to touch the green light, show me with the dowsing rods where I can go so that you have the ability to show yourself on the green light or my flashlight. That was me. I know that was me. Show me where I can go so that you have the power to make my other equipment go off. Can you show me again where to go? Make the other one go in that same way. Okay. I'm gonna ask a question real quick. Do you want me to go under the bridge? Would you like me to go underneath the bridge to better communicate with you? I know the bridge is that way. I don't want to go under there because there's people under there. I don't want to get in their way. Are you able to change my green light here? I know where the green. I know where the bridge is. My foot's falling asleep. If I go under the bridge, will you touch the green light? Can you straighten? Thank you for your time. I'll go underneath the bridge. I'm not too sure what to make of that. I'm really skeptical of dowsing rods. I don't know if that's me doing that, if it's something else doing that. I'm not too sure. It kept pointing to my left, and it would usually make one fall in a yes or no direction instead of both. So I'm gonna try going under the bridge. There's a lot of people over there. I'm just gonna try not to get in their way. But we'll give her a shot here. Alright, Emily. The spirits I was talking to. You had pointed me in the direction of the bridge, so I'm gonna go over it. If you are here, press the green light. You said you'd have more power crossing over the bridge. Time for you to demonstrate that for me now. If that was Emily, there's nothing around. It's still going off. Here it was. Thank you for doing that. Was that Emily? That's as soon as I crossed the threshold to the bridge. Was that Emily? I'm gonna go back to where we had a little bit of activity. Is this a spirit that is not Emily? If this is not the spirit of Emily, make my green light go off again. All the flowers people left in remembrance, out of respect. I'm gonna do the same thing. Always cars driving in and out. I'm gonna have to come back at night. I saw a little blip there when I said that. I guess the best times are between midnight and 3. Emily was supposed to have been here around midnight, so that makes sense. Thank you for communicating with me, Emily. I will be back. You are not allowed to follow me home. No other spirits are allowed to follow me home. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Well, doing a little bit of research if Emily even existed. This is the old Stowe Cemetery where she would have been buried. Over there is where one user, let me grab the source real quick. Midnight Society Tales. One user described Emily's gravestone as just an in-ground, no markings, separated from the other graves, which is why I started over there. They described that folks classified as dissidents were usually buried separate, and one of those reasons was due to suicide, which is one of the stories from Emily's Bridge. I looked at another source, let me pull that one up real quick, from medium.com, who actually found a grave. They didn't say which graveyard, but this is the one that was in service up until 1915. So I imagine it would have been here, with the grave inscribed as Little Emmeline. So nobody really knows A, if she existed, or B, where she might be buried if she existed. Those were two guesses. I couldn't find Little Emmeline. These are the stones that match the first description as being apart from the rest of the graveyard. Anyhow, I'll be back one of these nights, try to get some more answers out of the bridge. So, interesting. Saw the most activity definitely on the bridge, which makes sense with what the energy we were communicating with down below was saying. Let me get some air on. Hang on. Definitely consistent with what that energy down on the riverbed was saying. It kept pointing to the bridge. It specifically said under the bridge. There was people swimming on the other side. I'm still pretty new to this. I felt weird about it. So I'm gonna come back at night. That's gonna be a whole separate video. I got places I gotta go to. So I'm pumped for that. I'm gonna charge those D batteries. I'm gonna do that, I don't know what you call it, a seance, or I don't know what you call it. I'm gonna do that experiment next time. It's gonna be a hell of a video. Stay tuned. The next one, I'm going to another location now. Leave your guesses in the comments. I think it's gonna be a banger. We've talked about it on the podcast. If you know it, you know it. It's gonna be good. Y'all stay safe.